On this day, the Simpsons family was stuck on the highway, and Marge, the driver, was too timid to overtake and pass. Suddenly, Krusty arrived behind them in an SUV, cursing wildly. He eventually squeezed through the middle of the cars, drove straight up a wall, and sped away across the lawn. Seeing how cool Krusty was, Homer decided he wanted a car like that too. He went to the car dealership, where the salesman told him to keep drooling on it, because the paint would peel off if it got wet. Homer then spotted the red model, and immediately wanted to buy it.
I'll take it from here, Gil.
No, you can't take my sale. My wife's gonna leave me if I don't start bringing in the green.
Let's go write this up, shall we?
Stan introduced Homer to numerous add-ons and various loan options, but Homer couldn't understand any of it.
Sweet.
And so, Homer drove off in his new car to work, but his coworker told him that only women drove this kind of car, with the cigarette lighter replaced by a lipstick holder. Homer instantly didn't want to drive the car anymore, and was mocked by his coworkers. Homer decided to drive his old car to work instead, so the new car was left for Marge to drive. Marge wondered how she would get into the car.
Well, that's a nice feature.
Then she worried her hair wouldn't fit inside.
Oh.
The car also came equipped with artificial intelligence, which piqued Marge's interest in the vehicle. On the road, Marge encountered a traffic jam, but she was close to home.
Let's cut it out!
Bart suggested Marge take a shortcut through the fields. After some hesitation, Marge turned the steering wheel and drove straight into the fields, crossing the lawn to get home. Lisa entered the living room and found Bart wearing a turkey as underwear.
Bart, that's tomorrow night's dinner.
You're tomorrow night's dinner.
Lisa immediately reported this to Marge. Marge was so engrossed in her new car that she even installed high-intensity halogen headlights. Homer begged Marge to come back because Maggie smelled bad and the cat was acting strange. Marge told Homer to inform Bart to fetch her purse. Since Marge started driving the SUV, she shed her former timidity, overtaking cars on the road and cursing at slow drivers. To pass a funeral procession, she drove straight onto the sidewalk.
Slow down, you maniac.
But the police noticed this. They pulled Marge over, believing she had road rage, and ordered her to attend traffic school the next morning. At traffic school, these were all people caught for road rage. Next, they were shown a video about road rage.
Cut me off, will ya?
Learn to drive, dimwit!
I sentence you to kiss my ass.
These 4 types of anger made America great. The cure for road rage was to find another outlet for their frustration. This is where Polite Bear came in. Everyone could vent their anger on him.
Chief, can I at least shield my crotch?
Bears can't talk, Eddie.
After the therapy, everyone became very friendly. Bullies started respecting the elderly, and the elderly learned to yield to children. But this blocked Marge. Just as Marge was about to get angry, she chose to see what Polite Bear would do.
Move it! I gotta return this suit!
This inspired Marge.
Get out of the way! Oh, no.
But then a car came head-on. In a panic, Marge swerved the steering wheel, causing her car to crash into a prison.
Whoa! Thanks, chick dude.
The officer immediately destroyed her driver's license. Back home, Marge was still angry. Lisa suggested Marge join them for a trip to the zoo to relax. Marge complained that Homer drove like an old lady.
At least I've got a license.
Homer arrived at the zoo, but all the animals were asleep. So Homer tried to wake them up with a slingshot.
Here's your slingshot, Lisa.
The zookeeper took out a tranquilizer gun and shot. People in the zoo scattered and fled. Homer then had a flash of inspiration.
Jumanji!
But it didn't seem to work. Even the police couldn't control these thunder lizards. What they needed was a heavy-duty vehicle. This made the officer think of something. They went to Marge's door and asked her to drive her car. But Marge refused, citing her lack of a driver's license. Then the news reported that no one was in danger from the incident, except for these 3 people. Homer tried to lure the rhinos away with popcorn, but it didn't work. Then Marge arrived in her car and herded the rhinos back into the zoo. But the zookeeper noticed one was missing. It turned out one rhino wasn't afraid of Marge's car and was still trying to attack Homer. Marge told them to get in the car. The kids climbed in through the sunroof, but Homer got stuck. Marge hit the gas and Homer fell out, only to be carried away by the rhino.
Hey, anybody seen Homer today? Here,
There he goes.
The rhino took Homer to a construction site and threw him into a porta-potty, trying to make Homer perform a piercing magic trick. Then Marge arrived. She climbed over mountains and crossed waters, trying to catch up to the rhino, but it seemed impossible. So Marge resorted to Plan B. The rhino was attracted by the fire. As the rhino was captured, Marge successfully rescued Homer.